Alright, sorry if I cough. This is the rear deck lid hinge spring video. Now this particular Firebird has the rear spoiler on it, which means that the hinge spring's got to be a little stronger. I'm going to go right across the back here and you can see how they overlap. And up the other side. You'll note that the lever on the torque rod, which is actually the spring itself, there's two torque rods that twist, is up on the second position. You can't run it down to the bottom, so it you cannot run it down here, so you have to run it in that slot or that slot. So let's go back and look at the other side for 1 minute. Tahitian yellow, by the way. Okay, over here, if you look at the torque spring on the top, this one right here, and then you look at this one, you'll notice that the one on top is thicker than that one. That means this car was a spoiler car. It's the easiest way to tell if there's no deck lid on it, or if you go to the junkyard. So, first of all, this spring, torque spring, is not, it comes over here and it's right there, but it's not the spring for the driver's side. This spring right here, this torque spring, is actually for the passenger side. Over here where it goes, and it goes right into the hinge on this side where it's keyed. So it flips, so it's got a knob, it bends over and it fits into this hinge. So when you move this hinge, it goes pretty hard, and you're moving that thick rod, which is now on the bottom. Okay, because it went across over here. Remember, this one was thicker than that one? So it's down here, over to here, and it runs the right side. Okay, now if I come over to this side and I just pull on this side, this one's much easier, much less effort. That's all Pontiac did to keep the deck lid up. If you try to use two of these, the thing will slam up so hard that it probably will go out of alignment first, and then when it gets looser, cracks something in here, it might hit your window glass, your rear window glass. So installation is not a one-man job. They should be installed before the car is painted, if you take them off. This has to go in when it slides into that hinge down there. It actually has to hook underneath here, so you hook it in the other side, and then you bring it across over to here and slide it between here and here, and it slides into this little groove. So there's a gap in here for it to go around this corner. Okay, which is its pressure point, and then it torques on it this way. When you do that, you have, when you work it, you have a lot of torque on this thing. If you don't have that right, and you don't have a pair of vice grips that are good, this thing could fly off and you could ruin paint. Put a dent in it, mess this up over here in the corner, which I've seen done many times, trying to use a tool in there to pry that up, all sorts of stuff like that. So that is the deal with that. And of course now the same thing would apply to the other side, which is actually the driver's side hinge spring, which is right here, the smaller one, except for there is exceptionally probably a third or more less torque than this one has, than the fat one, the skinny rod. So that's the deal on the torque springs for the trunk lid. The the rubber condom sleeve here in the middle where they cross over keeps them from squeaking. Even if you paint these and you put them back in and you don't put this rubber on, this one's a little bit peaked, but it goes around, it comes back onto this rod. It's put on the small rod. Okay, the condom's on the small rod. Alright, the sleeve. And if you don't put it on there, you can paint them. I don't even care if you grease them. After, depending on how much you use the trunk lid, after a while it's going to come off, and then it's going to make, it's not a squeak, it's like it's a bad sound. Everybody around you when you lift your trunk up is going to hear it, and it's not going to be like a creak like an old door. It's a nasty sound. So if yours is beat up, this get a thick, I've even seen guys take garden hose and put it in here. Keep in mind that this is covered by the tail the panel. It's got screws, and a screw here, a screw there, and here, and it covers it all up. So anyways, there is the Pontiac Firebird 2nd generation hinge spring torque rod video.